Steph and I have just parked up at the Corrie Hallie car park on the side of the main road, and we will be doing the Fisherfield round today. The Fisherfield round is a 28 kilometre walk along the ridge of some of the Fisherfield Munros, and we'll be also doing additional 15 kilometres just to get into where the loop starts. So we're looking at a round trip of about 45 kilometres in total, aiming to camp for 2 nights, so we should be back here at the car park by Wednesday. Loadout wise, my gear hasn't really changed. I've got a new backpack, so I'm not using my DIY IKEA backpack, but I'm using the new 3F ultralight backpack. It weighs about 850 grams, and this is my first trip using it. Capacity wise is okay. I've got just over 2 days worth of food and all of my gear in it. It's pretty much filled to the brim. I can't even roll the roll top down, but luckily it's got a zip on top, so it's keeping all of my gear inside. I'm also using the Gram Expert quilt instead of my down quilt because once again we're in Scotland and I wasn't really expecting weather like this. I was expecting damp and rain, so I went for the synthetic quilt instead of the down one, but now I kind of regret bringing the heavier and more bulky synthetic quilt when we have weather like this. One and a half kilometers in and my face is already drenched with sweat. It is completely sweltering, and it's only going to get hotter because it's only 11:30 right now. The trail off to the right will take us to the bothy at Chevenel, but we'll be doing the loop clockwise, so we will be branching off to the left. Lunch on the trail, chorizo and peanut butter tortilla. On the way in, a couple of hikers who've just done the Fisherfield round told us to get water whenever we can because it could be quite dry up there. So we're now just filling our water bottles after lunch before climbing 700 meters up. First summit of the trip, and Steph is dead.
5 more to go.
It's 6:30 and we've been at the first summit for about 15 minutes now, and we've been looking around for somewhere to camp. There's the option of a series of small lochs down there, and the ground looks fairly flat, but the view up here is just absolutely amazing. So I think we are going to be pitching on the summit. I had a look at the weather forecast earlier, and tonight the weather conditions look perfect. It's not too windy and it shouldn't be that cold. Not expecting any rain, so if it's any time that we're going to be camping on the summit, tonight's probably the perfect night to do so. Tents are pitched up. That's the Nature Hike Tagger 2 and my 3F Lochan 1, and this is our view. dinner time.
So good.
The weather has turned around really quickly. We are pretty close to the summit, but it's just mist behind us. But at least the rain has stopped, so that's good. Just hoping for the clouds to clear up for when we get onto the ridge. Top of Sgurr Ban now, and this is going to be the first of 5 Munros today.
Hey! Yay! Look, can you see the top of the other one? Can I have this one?
Yep.
That doesn't look so high, does it?
So I think we will be heading along the track there up to the next summit, which is Beinn Tarsuinn, and then we will be following the ridge and along to the rest of the Fisherfield Munros.
Are you filming me? Please don't. Made it. Jam over.
Do you like the pose?
Yeah.
Just yeah. How are you feeling after the 4th Munro of the day?
I'm dead. Oh, made it.
Haven't touched the cairn yet. It's 7 o'clock now, end of the day, and we've got the final climb for today. It's basically up this scree slope and then through some boulders up ahead. Steph's pretty tired and my feet are aching a little bit, so it's not the ideal time to be doing this climb, but at least the weather's nice and we got good visibility.
How did you get down there?
Phew, we're safe. Oh my god.
Summit of the final Munro in the Fisherfield round. 3 deers in the distance. It's 9:30 and we have just pitched up. It's been a pretty long day. We've walked for nearly 12 hours. Even though we didn't walk that far, it's about 15 kilometers. It's been a lot of climbing today. We summited 5 Munros, had a pretty big day. So even though we were planning to camp by the big lock about 2.5 kilometers away, didn't make it that far because we had a look at the map and some of the terrain around it either looked a bit too steep or a bit too marshy. So we didn't want to risk having to walk even further to the Sgurr Bothy to camp tonight. So we thought rather just pitch up here by the 2 lakes, not the flattest pitch or the best pitch, but it will do, and just wake up a little bit earlier tomorrow to finish the Fisherfield round. 5 minutes past 6 on the final day. All we have to do is walk 15 minutes back to the car park through Sgurr Bothy, and according to the route guide, we are going to be walking through some of the worst bog in Britain just before we get to Sgurr, so saving the best till the last. Weather-wise, it's not looking great today. It's quite cold up here and it's windy. There are clouds covering the peaks around here, but it also looks like it's clearer over there, and that's the direction that we will be heading to. It rained a bit last night and it was quite windy, but otherwise it was quite comfortable. I definitely slept all the way through until 6 o'clock today, but I still feel quite sleepy right now. Could do with more sleep. An hour in and we've been following this quite distinct path. We've basically lost most of the elevation now. We're down at 250 meters above sea level, and it's just going to be a gentle descent until we hit the boggy part in a few kilometers time.
Wait, I'm jumping now. Wait, no. No, there's nowhere to put. Wait, where did you find anywhere? Oh shit. Maybe like this. Nah. Okay. Ready? I am not gonna jump across.
That's not even the bottom.
Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
We managed to make it out of the bog part, and we have another river to cross. On a scale of 1 to 5, where was that?
Really cold. And really soapy. But 10!
Made it to Sgurr Bothy, and all we have left to do is to climb out of here and head to the car park.
Yeah, my plan. Yes, Corbett. No, don't do that!
We're a few hundred meters away from the road now. I can hear it in the background. It's pretty good timing as well because the weather is just rolling in. It's raining now and it's been drizzling on and off for the entire day, but this is the first time that the drizzle has become sustained rain. Even with this bit of rain, I think we've been pretty lucky with the weather. We've managed to get a view from almost all of the summits. the weather hasn't been remotely bad. It's been sunny or cloudy most of the time and not so windy. But yeah, we're just coming up to the car park now. It's an hour and a half later than we expected. It's 12:30, but that's basically the end of the Fisherfield round, and we've walked for 15 kilometers today in just over 6 hours. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have you got any words to say about the Fisherfield round stuff?
No, I can't do it. No.
Is that, no, you don't have any views?
Now I'm embarrassed. I'm enjoying my last 10 meters. 20 meters.
But not the previous 45 kilometers?